Hello folks, so here I am today in the Honda Jazz EX. It's a 1.5 litre petrol combined with hybrid technology, which means there's no need to plug it in, it charges itself. Now straight off the bat, there's something very unusual with this car. It has a claimed combined MPG of 61.4, I think it is, MPG. When the car was delivered to me, it just had a little motorway run for about an hour, and it was actually at 66.7 MPG. And even now I've been driving it around town and a few little runs in it to try and get a good sort of overall feel for the car. And I'm getting well in excess of the claimed MPG figure. That's unheard of. Fit and finish of the interior of this car is generally absolutely top drawer. They're not soft touch materials everywhere, but you can feel that the materials that have been used will be very hard wearing. And the cabin design's really simple, but everything's sort of where it should be. Now the infotainment system's good enough, they're certainly far worse, perhaps not massively intuitive, but it doesn't take you too long to find your way around. It's reasonably responsive, it's extremely easy to connect your phone for the first time to Apple CarPlay without the need to plug in via a USB, it's all done via the Bluetooth, and as you can see there's plenty of screen real estate there for your Apple CarPlay, and yeah, it's a very, very nice experience. I would just prefer it if it were a touch brighter. That's my only criticism of this system. And also this little volume knob, as great as it is to have a volume knob, it feels a little bit cheap compared to everything else in the car. Certainly when you compare it to the air conditioning controls, which are really nice and really tactile, it does feel like a little bit of a step down, this volume knob. And of course you've also got a reversing camera. Now if you've watched any of my reviews before, you know I've got a strange obsession with steering wheels. This is a very, very nice one indeed. Plenty of controls on here, but they're all really sort of logically laid out, and you don't need to take your eyes off the road to find your way around once you get used to it, which takes about 3 minutes. This EX model comes with things like privacy glass, heated steering wheel, navigation system, although the cars also have wireless Apple CarPlay and wired Android Auto as standard. And the sort of standard level of equipment in this car is much, much higher than you would expect in a lot of its rivals. So this car does have the eCVT gearbox, and you know the CVT gearbox is much maligned. Had one on the HRV that I recently tried. I said on the HRV it was the best CVT gearbox I'd ever used for round town driving. In this car it feels even better. Around town it's just brilliant. It's so smooth, unbelievably smooth. You don't get any CVT drone from it. You obviously do get a bit of CVT drone when you sort of floor it, but once you're up to speed on the motorway or whatever, it's as quiet as a mouse. It really is. But it feels really smooth, even when you compare it to some of the best sort of traditional torque converter automatic gearboxes. It really is good. Obviously this car's not built for spirited driving, but it handles perfectly well. 0 to 62 time of 9.5 seconds, which I think is more than you're ever going to need in a Honda Jazz. And it certainly feels like it's got more than the 98 brake horsepower that it actually does have. Now the Jazz has been around for a number of years, but one of the big improvements they've made on this one is this A-pillar is much, much narrower than it used to be, and it gives you a great field of vision from inside the car. I would say this car definitely gives you the best forward visibility that you get with any car in its class. You've got a really clear digital information cluster here. Everything you want to see is there. It's maybe a little bit busy, but it's perfectly fine as far as I'm concerned. Very clear, very good resolution. So legroom in here is amazing. I'm about 5'9.5", 5'10", and look at that. It's massive, massive legroom. And plenty of headroom. A 6-footer could easily do a really long journey in here. For me, it is 2 seats in the back. The middle one's very narrow, but you could easily carry 4 decent sized adults in the back of this car in complete comfort. And as we've come to expect from a Honda Jazz, you also get these brilliant Honda Magic seats. So if you want to carry some tall items, you literally just lift up the seat base, plop this down, and you've got all that to play with. It's great. Now at 304 litres, the boot space in the Honda Jazz falls slightly behind things like the Fiesta and the Renault Clio. But the Jazz trumps both of those cars when it comes to flexibility, internal storage cubbies, and of course capacity with those back seats down. Inside here we've got a normal glove box, and then we've got an additional one here which is massively useful. It's a really good space, great for keeping sunglasses and stuff like that. Now this car's not cheap, but when you think about it, why would it be? You've got that Honda reliability and build quality, you've got a petrol engine, you've got a decent CVT gearbox, plus you've got the batteries and the EV technology, and that gives this thing this great MPG and probably helps with the smoothness in the power delivery. So this particular one I'm sitting in is 24 grand. They start around about 20. You can probably get a little discount if you use one of the car buying services. You can probably get one just north of 19 grand. That does make it slightly more expensive than the Yaris, which is probably its closest rival, but then it's also a bit bigger, a bit more practical, and probably ticks a couple more boxes than the Yaris. I guess if you want a cheaper practical rival, you'd be looking at something like the Skoda Fabia, but you wouldn't get anywhere near the level of equipment that you get with this car, and I think you'd struggle to get the MPG figures that you can achieve in this car. So as always, I like to sum up these reviews by really telling you how I feel about the car being returned. And I'll be really sad, I'll be quite honest with you. I mentioned I had a Honda Jazz coming in to a couple of friends, and there's always that, oh, ha ha ha, you've got an old man's car coming, blah, blah, blah. Yes, they're very popular with the older generation, but it's a fantastic car, it really drives well. The only negatives really are the fact that it's got that reputation as a bit of an old boy's car, and it's quite pricey. But as I said before, look at price and look at value, and this thing delivers value for money that most in its class don't. It's exceptionally smooth, exceptionally comfortable, and massively efficient. So if you're looking for a practical small car, come and check out a Honda Jazz, you won't regret it. If you want to look at lease deals for a Jazz, by the way, there is a link in the video description and pinned as the top comment that will take you straight to Lease Loco, and it will automatically be filtered down for deals on the Honda Jazz. Now, if you've enjoyed any part of this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe if you haven't already done so. I'm also going to pop up my social media links, so please go and follow me on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. Thanks ever so much for watching. See you next time. If you like this video, maybe check out my review of the Honda HR-V. There's a link to it just over here.